Welcome back to the Punchline Project, the only podcast bold enough to say happy birthday, America's Army, and also to the man who wanted to give it a catwalk down Main Street. That's right, folks. June 14th, 2025, the Army turns 250 years old, and Donald Ulysses Trump turns, well, still younger than Biden in dog years. And in true Trump fashion, he once said, you know what this country needs? A military parade, like a big one. Tanks, jets, guys with swords, maybe even a marching band that spells out Trump 2024 and fireworks. And hey, respect where respect is due. He loves the troops almost as much as he loves seeing his own name in a 40-foot gold letters. So today, honoring the Army's birthday, Trump's birthday, an American tradition of just going a little too hard on spectacle and barely reading the fine print of the Constitution, whether you're a red hat, blue check, or just here for the chaos, this episode's got something for you. Let's load up on the pod cannon and start this parade. Metaphorically, of course. The Punchline Project starts now.
Stand up for me. What's that? All right, you're clear.
What about you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. He's not a threat. Assets clear to enter.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to need you to read this.
Sorry I'm late, fellas. There was a lot of speed bumps around the courthouse.
All right. It says here, ladies and gentlemen, peasants and podcast listeners, kneel if your knees still work, because entering the studio on a throne made of broken recliners and chicken wing bones is the sovereign of sweatpants, the monarch of munchies, the once and future king of interrupting, Crash Test Dusty.
Y'all are welcome. I'm here.
Oh, we're glad for you to show up, Your Highness. How is it today?
Man, I didn't know they were going to be putting parades and everything else out to stop me. They really didn't want me to show up tonight.
And we, as we commonly refer to you as King Dusty, it is appropriate as of today.
You make one reference on one internet on podcast,
Yeah.
the whole nation shuts
And
down.
all of a sudden they're having these no king protests. And I was like, well, we just called him King Dusty. It was supposed to be a joke, but I guess now we have to treat you as royalty because now every city in America, or every major city in America, because I think we can probably find a few cities that aren't, is protesting you.
Well, LA used to be. It's not anymore. It's kind of...
They don't love you like they used to, do they?
No, but luckily for me, it looks like the inside of a volcano right now, so I ain't worried about it.
Us calling Dusty King has gone too far.
It has. It really has.
What?
It's gone too far.
Well, well, here's the problem, right? First, we told him he was the king.
Yep.
That went to his head, right? Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, Your Highness. Who know that the king?
Thing ain't loaded, is it?
Who know the king?
You don't worry about it.
Who knew the king had to use his own? How to hang up his own weaponry?
No, I asked the agent if I could keep his gun.
So first, we refer to you as King Dusty. That goes to your head, right?
Sure.
For sure.
I mean, I've kind of always lived this way, so
Yeah.
it's whatever.
And then now that you've had your
I've always kind of been this way.
now
I'll
that
live this way.
and now that Dusty has his are you smarter than your friend segment. So not only is it in his head that he's the king, but now we're telling him that he's smart. He's already a monster, and we're creating a larger monster.
Yes.
In y'all's defense, one,
Oh, he's defending
Thank
us.
you for defending
wow.
us. Thank
No.
you.
You're
Sire,
such a guy.
sire,
hey,
sire.
if y'all were
Yeah,
starving,
you're
I'd give y'all half a piece of bread apiece.
Dude, you're a bro.
So in y'all's
You're
defense,
a bro.
As long as we went and sowed his fields and fought
Yeah.
his wars, right?
polish the royal
Fought
scepter.
his wars.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've always had this ego.
That's-
So y'all didn't really
Agreed.
create that.
Agreed.
And
That's
as far as being smarter than y'all, I've known that for 15 years,
Yeah,
so that's
I
not really
wouldn't say
helping.
that.
His whole
You
damn-
got more time on your hands now to read books and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't read.
Or
That's silly.
watch videos on your phone while you drive around in your truck.
That right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dusty's doing what's it called, 90 hard or whatever.
No, definitely not. I'm just working out.
90 days rock hard.
70 hard where you're supposed to read 10 pages every day, and he's 80 days in. He's only read 6 pages.
That's right.
Aren't you supposed to go to the doctor if it lasts more than 4 hours?
That's been happening since I was 13.
All right, Dusty, then if you're so damn smart,
Yeah. Enlighten us.
if you're so damn smart, tell us something once again to blow our effing minds.
All right, I'm going to give y'all something that's going to blow your minds. I'm actually going to do the exact opposite of show you how smart I am. I'm going to ask you a question that has even the likes of me stumped.
Okay.
Y'all ready for
So,
this?
you just to show how dumb we all are. Not how much smarter you are, but how dumb we all are as a collective.
Kevin, think about it how you want to think about it. That's why you're not paid to think.
I don't get paid.
So, if a child is born deaf,
Oh, no.
what language do they think in?
Brain teaser.
Bro, I'm lost.
My Braille, is that a language? Is that an official
You're not going to
language?
think in Braille.
Right.
What do
How-
they think? Polka dot, polka dot? If they're born deaf, what
Yeah,
language
yeah,
do
yeah.
they think in? Because if you're a Mexican child, you're born and your parents are speaking Mexican all the time, you're going to think in Spanish. Even in the dialect, like a Chihuahua, Mexico, you're going to think in like that dialect of Spanish.
It,
You're in America, look at me. I think hillbilly. I mean,
I think we all do.
you get what I'm saying, though? If you're born deaf and you've never heard sound, what language do you think in?
Okay, I have a question back.
And then, like, what does your voice, like, you know, when you talk to yourself in your head?
I bet
Like
their
what-
voice still sounds like, oh, yeah. Sorry, that was rude.
I
shouldn't
set you
have
up
said
for that one. I shouldn't have done that.
My bad. Even I got offended on that one. I apologize.
God.
It's pretty bad when you offend yourself with your own joke.
I knew I was bad.
I didn't even feel good. I didn't even feel good saying that one.
I hate it. Okay, so is sign language universal? Is all sign language the same?
Dude, I don't even know American Sign Language. Hell,
Can you Google that?
no, because isn't it ASL, American Sign Language?
Right. So is there like BSL, like British Sign Language, FSL?
Well, I mean, if you're talking like a person from Mexico,
No, it's not.
Really?
see, how is that possible? Because if I say the toilet's white, in Mexican, they say the white toilets.
Look, there's ASL and BSL.
See, I was
British Sign Language. So do they sign in an
Okay,
accent?
so they're like, oh, put another shrimp on the barbie.
That's Australian,
Oh,
mate.
my bad. British people.
It says are distinct languages with their own vocabularies and grammatical structures.
So do they have an accent?
So there's different.
They
Push on
sign
this.
in an
different
accent.
signals. There's different signals for
I wonder what
different.
I wonder what the sign language symbol for like blood pudding is.
Whip it in the get
Bradley's finger method. That'll beat some blood.
That's how I make blood pudding.
Hey, did y'all see that? That's why Landon gets to sit in the front seat of the Escalade and carry the guns and walk me around. He opened my beer for me. Where were y'all at? Pieces of shit.
I'm over here and I
sir,
don't have
sir.
the beer.
Sir,
It's fair.
why isn't there the king?
We need a little refrigerator under here.
Ooh, that's a good idea. So if you were actually the king, I mean, you are the king, but in your kingship, are you going to make the king's sign? You know, like there's the King James version of the Bible.
DSL.
Is
Hey,
it-
whoa! Isn't that like internet?
DSL. I'm pretty sure that's what some of the girls at college have.
Oh, yeah.
What about?
Well, your name is Dusty, so
what about?
it goes together.
Y'all don't keep me around for my charming personality.
Yes, we, sir, sir.
Keep you around for your
Sir,
DSLs.
For that deep throat.
Sir, we do.
Yes. Officially,
I do need to work on my curtsies.
we can't bow in here.
We should have
curtsies.
curtsied.
We can't.
We should have curtsied.
There's no room to bow in here.
Yeah, well, there's room for a revolution. But
I'm just
anyway,
glad he didn't say anything because I didn't take my hat off when he walked in. And
Oh,
You also didn't stand, but I was going to let y'all make it.
you disrespectful.
yeah,
All right, I
I've
don't
always
agree-
been a rebel. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, King James version. So there's like KJV is the King James version of the Bible. So we got KSL, King's Braille. Is that what the sign language? King Sign Language. That's what
KBL,
King Sign Language.
KSL.
I wonder if we could. I wonder if because they can still hear. Wait, no, they can't hear, can they? Right.
Right.
Well, not everybody's
deaf.
100% deaf.
If they're
there's
born
different-
deaf,
just like there's
though.
different levels of blindness, there's different levels of.
Well, in my question, I did say if they're born deaf and they've never heard a language,
right.
Okay.
So you're talking
they
100%.
can't hear. Yeah, they're born like
And they can't hear.
yeah.
I don't
What
know.
language do they speak? Drop
could-
it below.
I can only just imagine like
I mean,
kids born right now, and they'll have like all the slang, and their parents are just like, I don't know how you would do sign language for bet.
or skibbities.
Yes.
no cat. Fucking so stupid. What do you say? No cat. No cat. No my good.
I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder to talk to my son nowadays just because of that shit.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm glad. I can't even imagine what my son's gonna be saying in 10 years.
They're going to be speaking to you in code.
I'm about to say, you're going to say skibbity or something, and he's going to be like, Dad, that's so 2025.
Well, do you think it'll be different in 10 years, right?
That's what I'm saying. He'll
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you, Dad,
Yeah,
you're so
yeah.
old.
Oh, yeah. Like whenever little Finley's 10 and 10 years from now, and knowing what my 11-year-olds already say.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness, like everything's Riz. There's glaze all over everything. I'm just like,
I mean,
good
I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it in a racial sense, but they're gonna be talking their own kind of ebonics in 10 years, guaranteed. Like there is nobody over the age of 25 that's gonna be able to understand any 10 to 18-year-old.
What you were speaking of what's going to be happening in some years from now? I saw an episode this weekend. So this guy is like a programmer, coding kind of nerd kind of dude, and he was saying within 100 years from right now, you will be able to upload your consciousness.
Oh, you sent it to me, I think.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, into like
He was on
Thanks.
that podcast. I don't know the guy's name, but he
Yeah,
does a
Vaughn.
lot with
Yeah.
military personnel and
Theo Vaughn.
no.
like,
He's not bald. He's just got like really
like a buzz
yeah.
cut. So the guy was
I
saying
can't
that
remember his name though.
you would be able to essentially upload your consciousness into the cloud where you could, and speaking back to what we mostly talk about here,
Bullshit.
simulations, that we're in a simulation and things like that. At that point, you would be in a simulation. You would be the god of your simulation, so you could do whatever you wanted, right? Like I already know what I would do, right?
Hayden Panettiere, Emma Stone, what's
So it'd
cracking?
be like it'd be like for real your own Minecraft or
Yeah, like you would be able to
or
go
the
in-
Matrix, whatever your own Matrix.
the
I
way
would
that-
live in a palace, and everybody around me would look like LA.
Yeah, well,
LA right now.
here we are in this reality. Dusty's already trying to be a king. You think that he wouldn't be the king of his new reality?
Oh,
a
absolutely.
So I saw this, right? And of course, you know me, I'm going to go to like way too far with it and try to tie that into something that is like going on right now, or that is going on in what we know as our universe or whatever.
And what the kids say, IRL.
Yeah. So
Meet me IRL.
What if we're
1v1 me IRL.
yeah, so what if we are already past that point where people can upload their consciousness into the cloud and create their own, universe, their own simulations? What if we're just a product? What if we're just a product of somebody else's simulation? What if we're a product of this one certain fella named Jesus Ulysses Christ? What if we're a product of that guy's simulation where he's like, oh, I'm going to, I want to have it where I can be the hero, where I can be the protagonist. I'm going to come back and I'm going to save all these people.
So he's
And
some nerd modding a computer game
Yeah,
I'm
somewhere.
going to say he's a real piece of shit because he has a god complex. I just have a king complex. He's way worse
He's
than
got
me.
a fucked up kind of personality.
Dusty doesn't want to be
Jesus.
the god of the whole universe. He just wants to lord over his
Yeah.
harem.
Yeah.
I just
Come
want to
on.
be a king.
Just
and
cut
people
the
to
guy
give
some
him
slack.
to bring him gifts.
Dusty's like, all I need is to lord over like 10, 20,000 people. I
Bring him-
don't need to be the only king. I just want to be one of the
Yeah, I don't have
kings.
to be the only one. I'm cool with sharing the throne with other people in other areas.
And then he has docked Kevin and I with sponsoring his King Dusty propaganda show, right?
Yes, he has.
So Dusty's like our Putin. we just hope
The old Putin.
we
Bring
just,
him meats and wheat
Yeah, we
and your
just
finest goats.
we just host a nationwide, our nation, under Dusty, indivisible,
One
and
nation. Under
invisible.
Dusty and invisible.
I'm just I'm biding my time. Whenever
You're what?
just biding my time. Whenever whenever
We swore we'd never bring that man's name up on this show.
whenever the nation finally splits in 2032, I'm gonna take over the Southern Coalition.
What's when?
Oh, no,
why
no.
are we splitting?
Are we under some? Is this?
That's another conspiracy I'm on right now.
Well-
It may be 2042. I could be a little bit wrong, but basically everybody gets pissed off. California goes and fucks each other.
Everybody is pissed off.
Well, that's what I'm
I was
saying.
gonna say everybody's already pissed
think
off.
But and then the Southern nations start splitting, Eastern starts splitting. You have the Southern Coalition that takes over the South, which I would be the king of. It's what my game plan is. But the bad thing is no one, whenever America in the conspiracy, whenever America finally signs the bill that okay, we're splitting off, there's no more America. All the Americans are like, okay, because it happened so gradually. I sent y'all a video on it.
I'm still.
If you want to pull that up.
I'm still.
What's the name of your Southland country?
Southern Coalition.
Oh, so
That's the government, Southern
Okay,
Coalition.
so you keep saying it like there's a conspiracy out there, but then you keep. It's
It's a TikTok you sent?
I'm looking to make sure it's a TikTok or a Facebook or an Instagram.
What's up, sorry?
I was just saying Dusty keeps saying it like there's an active conspiracy out there where we're leaving, but in this same conspiracy, he's making it seem like it's about him.
Yeah. 100%.
Because he keeps
it
saying,
always circles back around
He
to
keeps
him.
saying there's a conspiracy out there that in 2032 or 2042 that
country's gonna
the
split.
country's gonna split in the Southern Coalition, and then you ask him what's the name of his country, and he said
Southern
Southern
Coalition.
Coalition.
I told you I was
Yeah.
going to be the king of the Southern Coalition.
And then I will be king.
So is there a part of the deep dark web where it's just Dusty
It's
sowing
he's
discourse?
he's got a vlog.
Like it's no bullshit when we were joking earlier that Dusty's responsible for the No Kings rally. That it really is. Which is funny because I saw that the No Kings rally is maybe okay. So there was an article in I think the New York Times or something, and it was sponsored by one of the Walton kids, the one of the billionaire Walton kids.
like the ones on the TV show.
The Weatherford one?
John Boy.
No, the Walmart Walton.
oh.
There, I saw where it was.
Which rally, I mean?
No. So do No Kings rally Walmart or Walton?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Walton, like the Walton. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I thought you. Yeah. You said they.
Oh yeah. So there, the Christy Walton promotes No Kings anti-Trump protest and ad up at the top right. That's on CBS News. I didn't make that up for anybody out there.
Promotes No Kings anti-Trump
Yeah.
protest and ad.
Yeah, so she took out an ad in like the Wall Street Journal, or not the Wall Street Journal, but the New York
Is
Times.
that it right there?
Yes.
That's gotta
Yeah.
be.
So, and of course, it was that they are peaceful protests where cars aren't burning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it mostly is protesting Trump, right? I think that's the overlying.
Well,
I
see,
think
that's
the
what's weird
overlying
is.
thing going on here because they try to make like it's about immigration, but then
Well, there's immigration,
and then it's
but there's
specifically
people at the rallies with rainbows all over them, and there's always going to be the purple and blue haired dumb. Never mind.
Yeah,
pieces
right,
of
right,
crap
right.
that are always there, and then they say it's Trump too. I don't even think they know what the rally is. They just want to loot and rape and pillage.
Can I throw out a couple of stats and just get your response to them?
I would love it.
As someone who has strong opinions about people who dye their hair, sorry, Lauren, Dusty hates you. She just dyed her hair yesterday.
What a fucking nerd.
I know. She's
What color?
She's probably at one of those things. That's why she told me she wasn't going to come.
Did she dye her eyebrows?
You'd have to ask her that. I don't
Curtain
know.
match the drapes?
Would she go blonde or something? She go blonde or something?
I keep telling her to go blonde, but she says that's not her look. Even though.
So what you do,
she's
like a
an
darker color?
Yeah, she dyes her hair black. And
I hope
she's
she dyed it
natural.
black and didn't touch her eyebrows, and they're like blonde, so I can make fun of her.
And she's like, no. And she's like,
What an idiot.
She has like blondish hair. So anyway, from 2009 to 2016, do you know who the president was?
Who the president was?
Mm-hmm. From 2009 to 2016, the most formative.
Is that Obama?
Obama, right? So in those years,
And he's married to Mike Robinson, right?
I saw that.
I did see that, and it's hard to look.
It's hard to argue.
It's hard just to look past it. Like it's like they want us just to not pay attention to what we're seeing flopping around on the screen.
And if he's married to Mike
Flopping.
Robinson, I truly
That's
don't
fine.
care.
Yeah, just
Be
say-
married to Mike Robinson, but don't come out and say,
yeah,
yeah.
Okay. 2009, 2016, Obama was president, right? Total removals, 3 million non-citizens over his 2 terms, the highest in the United States history.
And those are immigrants, any illegal immigrants that got shipped out. Yep.
Peak year around, and this is an estimate, in 2012, around 409,849 deportations in 2012, setting a record.
Yep.
In his first only 3 years, from 2009 to 11, 1.18 million removals, right? So to give it a little bit of reference, so that instead of being like, oh, it's the whole thing, because obviously you could be like, oh, we'll take 8 years and make it sound like it's higher than Trump's,
Yeah.
because was Trump on like 5 years now?
Yeah.
Five years now?
And he's at like, what, 400 some odd thousand?
Yeah, so we'll just take Trump's first term because I mean he hasn't even been president for a year.
Yeah.
We still got 6 months, right? So in his first term, just under 1 million across 4 years. His first 3 years saw 800,000. So you average that out, that's going to be what, 3 something?
Yeah.
3 something and some change. And then his final year, adding roughly 186,000. So that was a down year. Oh, well, and this says Trump never exceeded 260,000 in a single year. So we're both fucking stupid as shit. Because we did terrible math.
Well, I don't understand how you can do 260, 260, because even at 300,000,
That'll get you to 9.
yeah, that'll be 1,200.
Well, he did 800. Yeah. 250. Yeah, that's close. Yeah, that is close. So, I don't know. And this isn't an overly funny situation, but it's what's going on right now, right?
Yeah.
So, what is it? Because I try to think of myself as somebody who, just because I hear it from the right or hear it from the left, I don't care what the right or the left has to say. I care about what are the facts, right? What is happening? So, in my opinion, it's just that Trump's rhetoric is far more aggressive, right? Because he's brought in. You can jump in whenever you're ready.
I truly don't think it's Trump's rhetoric or anything like that. I think it's just because he is who he is. And let's be honest, the way I look at it, and I'm going to start off by references 2 things. One, Kevin, I don't know your politics really, but Bradley, I know yours pretty well. Neither one of us like Republicans or
I have
Democrats.
zero opinion on politics.
That's why
But
we
like
love you,
neither one of us are a Trump fan. Neither one of us are a Democrat fan.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of right there in the. I lean more libertarian than anything, but we're kind of right there in the middle where.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, we can tell by the last episodes that I dig deep into shit I'm interested in, whether it's absolutely pointless or it actually kind of makes sense. And I like to believe in what my eyes see. I'm not going to look at what CNN tells me on the news and believe that. I'm not going to look at what the real Donald Trump tells me on the tweeters and believe that.
Right.
So I like to do research and in-depth research and just find my own way. But my biggest thing is 2000s, the Democrats were the Republicans. Well, not really. I guess Republicans were more Democrat is what it was. And then the Democrats have moved so far left that now the old Democrats are kind of becoming. The Republicans their views are now what the old Democrat views used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like since they shifted so far left, that anybody that's against them is evil. And I think that's the issue. I think it's not policies, the way he goes about it. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's just because it is Donald Trump saying it. Because if you go to those rallies, and I know you've watched these videos, and they read like Obama policies off to these people, they're like, oh, those are racist, those are sexist, those are horrible.
Yeah,
and
they
then
just
they
don't
say,
care.
well, did you know that this was Obama? No.
Yeah, they just
No.
don't care.
Yeah, they don't
They
care.
don't care.
Trump is the one in office, so Trump's a piece of shit. I don't think they even have a brain of their own. Like, we are legion. They are one mind, and that's all they care about is if you're against them, you're a piece of shit and you're evil. And I feel like
Could I
people more on the right aren't that way, and normal ass people see the bullshit on both sides.
could I counter with that? And I don't want to offend anybody on either side, but could I counter?
I do.
But could I counter that MAGA is the same way? And I think personally that it is a reaction, right? Whereas if you fly far to the left, then people are going to fly far to the right.
I
You know, so
I agree
see
there
it-
are far right people, like hardcore MAGA is just as bad as purple-haired liberals. Like, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying in general, how many buildings were broken into, how many cities burnt, how many cars flipped whenever Biden was in office from MAGA.
Well, I would
I
say,
feel like there's more on the left than there are the right.
I would also say in the defense of that, because I feel like I don't ever want on this show where we're just arguing one side, and that's why I like.
Yeah.
I know Kevin probably is just sitting there waiting for this shit to end. But I do like talking about this stuff with you because we do talk about this a lot because I do like seeing the other side and everything, right?
Exactly.
Like I feel like that's a big part of being an American is that, yeah, I get what is going, I get what we're saying. So my counter to that would be that no cities have been burned because I've been to Dallas since the George Floyd riots, right?
Yep.
Dallas still there.
Yep.
Houston's still there. Those cities are still there. So we're taking very isolated incidents, and I do believe that
We're taking isolated cities in America.
right. Well, what I'm saying is I think that we're taking some which granted it is happening. There are granted there's cop cars under a underpass and they're throwing rocks and fireworks and all kinds of crap at it. And there's definitely there's looting going on. There are fires being set. That is a fact. But to say that cities, so whenever you say to me cities are burning, I think that if I drive 60 miles west of here, all I'm going to see is flames. Right?
But that's my point. You're taking it so literal of every single city.
No.
If you drive into LA, 80% of that city is on fucking fire.
But I have seen lots of videos in downtown because it's just the same as whenever, and I don't want to go into all this.
And
but
I would break into a Democratic state versus a Republican state.
Yeah.
You try to set cities on fire in Texas, you're going to have military, you're going to have Marine, you're going to have Fort Hood here, not the governor trying to keep you out.
Right. Well, I have seen several, and it's just like whenever like Russia and Ukraine started their thing. There was several you would see online like Ukraine is under fire. The whole cities have been destroyed, and then people in those cities would be posting videos on TikTok showing
Doing their normal day life.
well the city like their cities their things have been hit. There's no doubt about that. Things in LA have been set on fire. There's no doubt about that. But when we say cities are on fire, I'm thinking I'm not thinking every city in America is on fire. Obviously, I know that's not true. What I'm thinking is if you tell me LA's on fire, LA is, and by square mileage, because LA is a massive city. Whereas like New York City is a smaller city with a humongous population. LA is a sprawling, massive city with a huge population as well. But to say the whole city is on fire is just not true.
Well, I mean,
Right?
there is statistics on it showing that over half of the city is on fire or being Window, technically, maybe not on
And I
fire.
think saying-
Windows broken out, places being looted. It was
Right.
at like 78% of the city has been looted or is on fire right now.
And I think saying the whole city's on fire and me taking it as literal flames is
Every square inch of it.
is too much of a generality on my part. Whereas
Bradley's watching it. He's like, "Oh, come on, the
Yeah.
entire city."
Yeah, I don't see no damn flames.
He said that building right there hadn't been touched.
But right. So you're saying
That building behind that bitch ain't on fire.
But saying a city's on fire is also encompassing that there's just general looting, general disruption.
Well, my thing of
And
saying
it's
the
just a
city's
general-
on fire is if I gave you a sandwich right now and it was 20% ham and 80% shit, would that be a shit
Right, it would
shit
be a
sandwich?
shit sandwich. You're
exactly.
right. You're right. And that's why I like talking to you.
When you put it that way,
That's why I like talking to you about things, because and it's just, this is the same as every other effing situation that's going on in our country across the whole world. There's so many freaking angles you can look at it about. It's to me making just outright this is how it is statements. That's always going to be wrong. You know, it's always going to be and that's the thing that bothers me of when Trump is like, this is this way. And it's like, well, okay, some things are that way.
Yeah.
And yes, a portion of illegal immigrants are going to be murderers and rapists and sex trafficking and drug
and
dealers.
logically,
but also
there
so
are gonna be-
a lot of Americans.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, and
it's
I
true.
think about it
Yeah,
logically
yeah.
too. If you rounded up all the Americans in Mexico and they deported them back, the hefty majority of them would be criminals
Oh, yeah.
because they're running from America for a reason.
Modelo.
I mean, and I don't know if that's the same way in Mexico. I've never lived in Mexico. I don't know how it all works, but I know with
If I was a career
the
criminal, I'd
cartels
be in Mexico.
Well,
I
my
mean,
thing,
yeah.
like if you're running from Mexico, like if there was a place, if you
Canada's-
had to run from Mexico, not just because you wanted a better life, if you had to run from Mexico, get away, where are you going to go? You're either going down or up. So it's logical to think that there is going to be a lot more criminals in illegals.
So you can blend in.
Yeah, well, they're having to get away somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, you either go down or up at that point.
And I think a big part of this is that a lot of the policies are the same as when Obama was deporting all those people. They were looking for you, and you hear him say it, right? You hear, what's his name? Tom Homan, I believe, is the ICE whatever general or whatever you want to call him now. But they're going after criminals, right? That is their main target. But when they kick in the door of a house to arrest a drug dealer or a murderer or a rapist, sex trafficker, whatever, and then they also find 5 other illegals who maybe are not participating in any of this, right? Well, and from what I've read under the Obama administration, they were just more quiet about it, right? They weren't. So Trump is saying, I told you I was going to do this. And he has said in his, I remember he used this word and I had to look it up because I thought he made this shit up, but it was braggadocious or something like that. And I was like, that's not a real freaking word, braggadocious. And then I look it up and it's a real word. And I'm like, he's so lucky because I know he didn't know that. I think he thought he made that up.
Someone told him that walking to the
What
stage.
does it actually mean?
It just means that it's just being a brag person,
bragging.
right? Yeah. So, whereas Obama wasn't going to put that out there like, hey, we just arrested this this criminal from another country. And as we arrested him, we also took these other 8 people that were here illegally. We don't know why, right? We don't know, maybe we don't know why. So they were playing the media game, right? Whereas we're going to tout that we removed criminals, but we're not going to tout that we removed the 6 other people in the building.
Yeah.
Whereas under this administration, we're going to brag that we removed the criminal, but we're also going to brag that we removed the 6 other people. And maybe
That's what gets me back to both sides are fucking garbage.
Maybe they're not even bragging about it. It's that the other side because it's the other side wants to be able to say, oh, you're in charge and we hate what you do, right? Because they want to be in charge. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's because there wasn't a bunch of Republicans standing outside this building, videotaping the Obama ICE agents removing this whole, group of 8 people. Whereas under Trump, you have a group of, not Trump supporters videotaping it and trying to make it look like, oh, you're ripping this family apart, right?
I think it has a lot more to do with the political game on why they're both pieces of shit on both sides.
No, you're right.
Trump says, I'm deporting all the illegal immigrants. MAGA goes, woohoo, vote for Trump. He's God. You do that as a Democrat, then your entire running platform collapses below you.
Yeah, so you have
because
to keep
they're
it a
saying,
secret.
little men, we love everybody, mixing pot, blah, blah, blah. So they have to keep it a secret because it's their political career. That's why they went in at $1.3 million and left at $40.7 million because they're getting the donor money and they're doing what their donors want. If you're a Democrat, you're kind of a pushover, let everybody in.
I don't think that the Democratic Party is united in that way, because I think that I would bet money that if you were able to poll them and get the honest truth, half of them would be perfectly fine with what he's doing.
I 100% agree with you if you could get the honest truth, but you're never going to.
And I'll be honest with you, I am this is suicide right here to say this, but I am like a Bill Clinton-esque Democrat. Like, I want there to be secure. I'm almost an Obama Democrat, but he was a mass murderer. So
I honestly had no problem with Obama.
I
really didn't.
I had a lot of problems with Obama in ways that people wouldn't think you would, and it was like some of the things he did overseas and stuff like that, because the dude didn't give a shit. He would kill whoever he could find. But I
don't know what a goddamn insurgent even looked like.
I consider myself like a 90s Democrat. Like,
anybody.
I want everybody else. ELE, everybody love everybody. I don't give any two craps about if you're, this, that, or the other, right? Like, I feel like as a society, we've moved past worrying about that you hate somebody because you look at, some people, most of us, right? You look at somebody and be like, oh, I see you, I hate you, right? Because I've got friends who look like you two, tattoos. Look at this guy.
Trash.
Tatted up.
Trashy.
Tatted up like some trailer park fucking trash. Dusty.
Oh, God,
No. Put the other on. I'm the only clean cut white boy here, right? Look at this. These dudes got tattoos all over them. They look like they just got out of a prison cell, out of a damn asylum, right?
No way.
I think myself and Dusty's security guard are the only 2 people that I know that do not have a tattoo.
No, he has my brand on his ass cheek.
You don't have a tattoo though, do you?
You don't know what my brand is.
Yeah, I do. It's DDD, Drop Dick Dusty. I like that. Put a little
That's fair.
sizzle out
That's
there.
fair.
He put a little sizzle.
Landon, you're getting a brand after this.
That's what. So
Another one.
Hey, right there. He showed me his butt cheek.
Aw.
I don't think anybody that I know gives 2 shits. Oh well, I take that, and I always say I think that everybody's this way, and then I start thinking about it, and I know very specifically several people I could name drop right now who would look at somebody and be like, I don't like you.
You're running straight into the same thing when I said the city's on fire. You said, oh, no, there's 2 pieces of paper right there and on fire.
Yeah.
In a general sense, I guarantee if you take 100% of white Americans, and I could be high or low on the numbers, but I feel like I'm going to be relatively close in the general. So you take 1 million Americans, you might have 100,000 that are just blatantly racist.
Okay, I would agree with that. I would say that would be.
You're going to have.
So what's that? 10%?
It's 10%. I would say 10%. You're going to have the vast majority being like, I don't give a shit what you look like. If you're good at what you're doing, or you're better than me at this, or there's going to be black people I don't like. I don't like you because you're a piece of shit, not because of the color of your skin.
Right.
And maybe I don't like you because our personalities don't match. I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I'll admit that.
Heard that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Kevin? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are annoying. Y'all are annoying as fuck. I fucking hate both of you. But yeah, no.
I messed up because I thought I almost elbowed the.
Oh yeah, because Kevin and I been practicing a handshake in secret.
All right, let me see it.
Cobras. Remember that? Remember?
With dodgeball?
No, Cobras for real. Our
Nope,
baseball
he doesn't
team.
remember
Oh,
that.
our baseball team in the
he-
sixth
oh,
grade.
yeah.
Oh shit.
We were the Cobras.
We were the Cobras.
And we would go, and then I would go, and strike out.
That might be the most Sydney thing I've ever seen.
What? Going like that? No,
Hi, Sydney.
not.
I don't see a difference.
I see it all. I see it. I see it.
I mean, Sydney's not the one doing it.
That's me. That's me for sure.
Yeah. Sydney's the man in every relationship she's ever been in.
She's the man in our relationship.
Hey, Sydney, you are the man in our relationship because you freaking rock. You are really helping me out because I don't have to do all that internet stuff.
Bradley gets to use you, and you don't have any idea. He's
All
so
that
happy
online-
about
Oh,
it.
she knows.
All
She
that-
knows.
the online
She
work.
knows.
City's helping. I think this is what's starting the fires. This is what I've learned this week that's blowing my mind.
What the?
Species of Australian raptors, also hawks,
What's that, aren't those
raptors,
hawks?
hawk, yeah. They will spread fires to aid their hunting. Black kite, whistling kite, brown falcon pick up burning sticks from existing fires and drop them in unburned areas. This behavior flushes out prey, insects, reptiles, small mammals, making them easier to capture.
Hey, I've been
Is
fat,
that not
but I've never been firehawk fat. You know what I'm
shit?
saying?
This is what's been blowing my mind this week. This is the wildest shit I've ever heard.
So they're essentially dragons.
Yeah, like what kind of bird is flying around like looking for there's a fire. Fuck yeah. And then swooping down, picking up a stick.
Throw it into a high grassy area to make little varmints scatter.
What in the fuck?
So do you think that's how they came up with dragons? Is they've seen some birds going around picking up fire and dropping it in the field, and they're
like
like,
some big albatross?
No, I truly think dragons were a thing back in the day.
Yeah,
Well,
I honestly do too. But
I don't know if the breathing fire type dragons, but I do think a
Where'd my pen
flying
go?
lizard type.
I got a question for both of y'all now.
Is that not fucking wild though?
Dude, that is wild as shit. It made me think of this. Last week, whenever I went back and was rewatching our episode 7, we are now on episode 8. I feel like I should start saying it at the beginning what episode we're on. But anyway, when I went back and watched it, there was something that we briefly spoke on. And it was something that Kevin here seemed like he had some opinions on.
Oh no.
And it was the what was it, the megalodon? Is it the megalodon?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And you think there's like some vents down deep into the ocean?
There's
Vents?
probably
Well, no,
a gas
I was
layer
just
down
saying-
deep in the ocean keeping shit down below.
Like the Mariana Trench and stuff like that is.
We were talking about the Megalodon movie, how they had to break through a layer of gas to get down to another sub area of the ocean.
I don't think I've ever seen
Well,
that
when they
movie.
break through it, then they start seeing these giant octopuses, the Megalodon, shit like that. That's where they came from. I'm not saying the movie is based on reality,
Right.
but what I'm saying is I could see that being. We've discovered what, like 7% of the fucking ocean, 10%,
Yeah, because
and it makes up 70% of the fucking world.
and what do we call NASA?
Not a space agency.
Because they
Not as
Have never been to space.
and they only go to the
Well, they only go to the outer
so
brim of the
parts
atmosphere.
the parts of the ocean that they're willing to go to.
Actually, they don't even go to the ocean anymore because they found shit down there. I truly believe they found shit down there. They're like, fuck that, I ain't doing it.
Let's get some. So
Yeah, because there's depths you can't even explore
Well-
because the pressure.
Right, and
They
then
discovered
when you-
10% of the ocean and it's 70% of the world, whether it's flat or round. Who gives a fuck?
Right,
They've
right.
discovered 70% of it. They haven't even been outside of Antarctica where all the rest of the ocean is with the other 3 nations. So, like,
I can't wait till we. I get so excited because I know we can't cover it all at once, but I know we're gonna get into one of these and make a little and have a series going about it. And I think that Antarctica might be because I feel like we could talk about Antarctica for an hour, and then talk about it for another hour, and then talk about it for another hour. Because every time we talk about it, I just keep looking into it and finding stuff that respectable
I mean,
men,
the
respectable men.
flat Earth map is in like one of the high-ranking offices in, I think it's Great Britain.
British people.
You know what?
And how do you say high-ranking office in British Sign Language? Okay, that brought up something good. So we're doing these not a king. Well, we're not doing them. some people are doing these not a king protests.
I mean, I drove through a bunch of them today.
in Florida.
Literally.
In Florida.
No, in Weatherford by the square, they implemented like speed bumps and shit. It was weird.
What color were they?
They're all the same color when
You
you're
didn't
going
sound-
70.
Dusty said I don't see colors.
Yeah, when you go in 70
Hold
around
on.
the square, they're same color.
Sorry, that's my bad. I was getting way off of. We're still talking megalodons. My
No, you're
bad.
good.
No. You've got it all pulled up. Go back to it. Because I
That's
am
just the
in.
Wikipedia.
All right, Kevin's turn. Kevin, talk. Go.
Kevin, tell us all about megalodons, right?
Is this kind of like? Do you know as much about megalodons as you do goat cheese?
Ooh.
Well, I've mainly just watched like on like what is it, the Discovery Channel, Shark Week
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
You know, that's always a big deal. And
That's
There's
what I
al-
call my wife's period.
Shark Week, yeah, yeah.
And we've done so good. We made it a podcast and a half without bringing it up.
I don't
any
know
of
if we
our
really
wives-
cussed that
I was
much
gonna,
either.
well, I was gonna say it
Well,
earlier.
we
I
haven't
think
brought
I
up
made
our
it
wives'
about.
vaginas in a podcast and a half, so we're doing pretty good.
I think I made it about 30 minutes before I cussed earlier. I don't know if.
oh shit, we've already been here for 44 minutes.
yeah, bro.
Well,
No,
you
but anyway-
talked about. You went on a tangent about politics for like 30 minutes.
Sorry, and it wasn't funny, but I think it was unhinged.
Yeah.
It's,
No, so you see the videos of like whales washing up on shore with these massive bites taken out of them.
Oh
and
yeah.
They're like, oh, there's
There's a
no
squid.
there's no great white that's that big. Well, giant squid's a thing too. So you know
It lives
that's-
down there with the
yeah,
megalodon.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
But-
Don't get me started on giant squids. They're giant and they're squids.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can't even get to the bottom of the what is it, the Mariana Trench, or is it
You can't
Mariana
get to
or
the bottom of
Marianas?
the ocean. You can't get to the bottom of the ocean in most places.
It's the
Well, yeah, but I mean-
the Marineras Trench.
The Marineras Trench.
No, that's outside of Italy.
and the Great Wall of Marineras.
So only an animal that was either that large or
I mean,
super
what else
small,
could it
right?
be?
No, I feel like I don't think the size technically matters. I feel like it's they have to be kind of a prehistoric type animal and evolve into that.
okay.
And
Let's see if I
like
can
that's
find,
my
like,
thoughts
a-
on it. If they're still down there, they've had to
That's-
have some sort of evolution to be able to live in that kind of pressure.
And there would have to be something down there for them to eat.
There
There
has
is
to be
stuff
other
down
shit. That's what
there.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
other shit down
Like
there.
there would have to be because that's a. I mean, what are we saying? How big are they? Oh God! And
I want to
everything's
say I
in
saw
freaking-
something that a megalodon is
Okay.
estimated to like the size of like 30 school buses.
50 to 80 feet.
And how? Look up how big a blue whale is. Just-
115
just so we-
tons.
Well, oh, that click on that little picture right there. Maybe that'll bring it up. Lower. Oh, okay. Megalodon.
Where's the picture?
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
See, that's a
Largest-
great white.
Oh Lord.
So lower
av-
average megalodon, upper average megalodon.
Okay, so yeah.
We're basically the size of its snoot.
We would basically, if you laid on top of one, you would go from the tip of its nose to right past its eyeball on a shark.
Maybe.
Maybe if you were tall, if you were over 2 meters, and I believe that's 6 foot,
6
right?
foot.
Right, or something like that. 1.8 is 6 foot, I think.
Fucking A.
Okay,
That's
I
a
do.
big fucking shark.
You can make that bigger, Kevin.
It's
Dude,
all right.
They made that.
I don't wanna make it too big.
Bro, they made that human 2.5 meters tall. That's almost 6'8". Because I do know for a fact that 6.562 is 2 meters.
Yep.
Yep.
know that.
I know that for a fact. I know that for a freaking fact. You can challenge me on that. You
Yeah.
can look it up. You can say
All
what you want.
day.
But 2 meters is 6.562.
2M. 6.
6.562.
Yeah.
Bradley, you
Wow.
sounded so smart till you kept talking.
6.562.
And then I started doubting myself. I was like,
You know what my math teacher used to say?
What's that?
Sometimes it's
Good
better.
luck?
Sometimes it's better to be quiet and have them assume you're a dumbass than to speak and remove all doubt.
Well,
And you
we-
kept speaking.
Well, we shouldn't have started a podcast if we were going to go that route.
On the same topic of like animals like this, like extinct and stuff, like has there been anything else said about those dire wolves?
I know a lot of them motherfuckers probably dying.
You remember?
There ain't no other wolf they're fucking putting in.
Didn't they bring those back recently?
Oh, yeah.
Has there been any other?
I haven't read anything about them.
Last thing that I had seen about it is that they didn't make it. or they ended it.
Well,
or
I know
something
90% of the fucking wolves they're trying to implement those Canadian wolves into
Like
Colorado and shit like that are all fucking dead.
Like the pups died.
They're all coming up dead.
Yeah, I think I had seen something. Either that or they had just tried to end the experiment or something like
I
that.
thought one of the puppies died.
In the experiment, like, all right, we did it. Let's run it back. Get rid of these.
Oh shit, bad idea. Should we bring back an extra large species of wolves? No.
This wolf is 8 weeks old and it's up to my kneecap. This is not smart.
Yeah.
And I had seen all those wolves up in Colorado and shit were just like running wild and like killing everybody's cattle.
Well, they released Canadian wolves into environments they're not used to. They even tried to introduce them into like Arizona.
Canadian wolves.
Yeah,
And like a Canadian wolf is not going to be able to live in 120-degree weather.
all right, what other? So what
Just,
kind of
just
what
Canadian
kinds of-
wolf?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah.
Well,
what-
I don't know if there's any kinds of differences in a Canadian wolf. I know they're
So we
taking
don't- we don't-
wolves from
It's not a
Canada.
specific classification.
Yeah,
It
they're
refers,
taking-
it refers to the gray wolf. so.
maybe that's a question we should send over to our partners over at Dropped Outdoor Podcast.
D.
D.
Not to be confused with DDD.
I know there's a couple of smart guys over there, and they probably could answer the question. What kind of wolves are there? I know both of those guys on the spot would just be able to start listing off the different kinds of wolves because they are experts in hunting.
I think the only
Oh.
wolf in Canada is a gray wolf.
Oh.
I think that's what it says.
So there's only one. So it's basically like once you leave the Arctic, it's just gray wolves.
I guess so.
Sure.
And we thought wolves were diversified. They're not at all. Great Plains
Great
wolves,
Plains
Eastern
wolf,
wolves. No,
yeah.
there's a bunch of different wolves. We should definitely bring that over to our hunting friends over there because they know everything about.
I don't
that
know.
kind
I
of
don't know if
stuff.
those hunting friends have ever been to fucking Canada.
Oh,
Probably never will.
but maybe they will.
Doubt
and
it.
maybe they'll take one of the other friends with them. I have a passport.
I'm a big fan of going to Alaska before I go to Canada.
No, we don't need a
I have a
passport for that.
I have a passport.
Fuck yeah. Let's go to Alaska.
Kevin, I've seen your hands. You can't record.
It's
What?
too cold out there. Can we get all shaky?
What are you talking about? What
You gotta have.
what
You gotta
does
have
that
some,
even mean?
You gotta have some meat on your bones to live in that
Do
atmosphere.
you like the cold?
I prefer the cold more than the heat.
Amen. Amen. You want to go to North Dakota?
Sure.
And by cold,
Let's do
Kevin means like 65.
No.
Perfect room temperature.
No.
I do love 65. That is
I mean,
my
who
favorite.
doesn't love a good 65
I love
outside?
69. You know what I'm
You're,
saying?
you're just being crazy at that point if you don't love a good 65
See,
outside.
I really prefer it to be like 40, 50 degrees.
in your house?
Period.
Oh, just outside?
Yeah, I would if I could live that way. If my wife would not die,
but no wind though.
100%. Period. I don't even care about wind.
I remember.
I really don't. I would rather have. The way I look at it is, I can put on more clothes to be warm. I can't take off enough to be cool.
That is very true. I remember during what year was Snowmageddon? Was that 2021?
Which one? We've had like 4 of them since then.
The big one.
2010?
The one where we were
Yeah,
in,
when we were in Midland.
Midland,
Yeah.
20.
That was like right at 2021, I think. At the
I thought that was the
It
ice
was-
one.
It was when
No, that's snow.
I-
I'm talking
I went
about
home-
The snow.
The one I remember that we had like record-breaking snow was in like 2012, 2014, because I was still at the city. I had to work it.
Damn.
But the one you're talking about, I had
The
to go.
recent
I had
one,
to go
the recent
home.
one.
I had to go home because we were having my son.
Oh,
You
yeah,
remember
that's
he was
right,
being
that's
born,
right.
and they made you go to work, and
Yeah.
you were like driving, or you tried to go,
yeah, I
and
know.
then yeah,
Yeah, and it was kind of
that,
crazy.
so he's 4, so that was 2021.
The thing that really sticks out in my mind about that. So this is like January of 2021, right?
Yeah, February.
So
yeah.
February of 2021.
Yeah.
What really sticks out in my mind is we actually came down to where we are right now to stay over here at Landon's because he's got a fireplace and everything because power went out.
yeah.
I remember being outside playing fetch with the dogs and everything, and then being like, "Damn, and it's cold." And I'm pretty used to the cold. Like Snowmageddon wasn't really a huge deal to me because I've worked in North Dakota during the winter, and it was just North Dakota for a week, right? It wasn't no big deal. And I remember coming inside after playing with the dogs and doing whatever, getting some firewood, and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a shower." And Landon was like, "Yeah, you can use my bathroom." And I was like, "Cool." So I go through the bedroom, and when I open that door, this gust of cold And I'm talking, fucking freezing. I'm shivering from being outside where it was 10 degrees. I walk into Landon's room, and I don't think I've ever been colder in my life because Landon likes to sleep in subarctic temperatures.
He had all his fans on, and
The dude has central heat and air, so he has the AC cranked as
are
low
you
as he can
sure?
get it.
Are you sure he has central heating?
And then he has like his own AC unit just for his bedroom
Just
on top of it.
cranked. Dude, it's
He's
like
got an 8,000 BTU in his window unit.
It's like -6 with like 30-mile-an-hour
12,000.
wind
I was
gusts.
saying, it's not even a window unit. He bought one that's better than a window unit because he wanted it's so cold in there.
Yeah, it's one of them hotel room. It's mounted in the wall.
I had to put my coat on after I got out of the shower because it was so effing cold in that room.
You
But-
can literally get sick from walking from Landon's living room into his bedroom and back to the living room because it changes so fast.
Catch pneumonia.
I was like, Jesus, it's colder in here than it is outside. It was impressive. So I always imagined that if like Landon ever went to to Canada, like went into the Arctic Circle and they were like, all right, it's time to sleep for the night, then he would just lay on the ground. He'd be like, oh, it's nice down here. And then you'd wake up in the morning and the tundra around him the frozen ground around him would have melted.
Yeah.
And there'd just be a pool.
We're going to be going to Alaska to hunt, and I'm going to be head to toe in thermals and long pants and everything. Landon's walking around in swim trunks.
Yeah.
I mean, throw some long hair on him. He's the size of a Viking. I mean, he's from that area.
That is very true.
Don't give him a complex. Landon's going to start walking around like he can't even wipe his own ass just because you called him a fucking Viking.
He's already your security guard.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
So-
because he's tactical and he's a good
Yeah.
shot.
So do you want your personal security to be able to wipe their own ass?
I don't care if they can wipe their own ass or not. If he
Well,
can,
do you want him to be that buff? Or is
I
that too
promise
buff?
you right now, it does not matter. I've never met a big enough motherfucker that can take a fucking 5.56 to the dome and keep coming at you. And I've seen Landon shoot. He can knock the wings off a gnat at 1,000 yards and not even touch the gnat.
So you're not worried about your security subduing people in a humane way? You
Dude,
just want it.
I promise
want it
you
done,
right
it's
now,
done,
if
it's
I was
done,
a
it's
king,
done.
if I was the king, there would be missing people a lot.
As he said, I would be a tyrant.
You rated
Using
me
his-
below a 7 on looks. Bye.
Yeah. He definitely uses his power for evil.
Yeah,
Does
dude,
he-
I would be the worst. 100% evil as fuck, guaranteed. I don't give a shit.
Dusty would be.
You're King Joffrey?
Dusty,
No,
Thrones?
I'm not a little bitch.
if Dusty was the king, he would be like Kevin Durant, like making fake profiles on Twitter and
Shit-talking
stuff.
people
Shit-talking
from
people
a fake account.
and then he's like, LOL,
Yeah.
you're dead.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know,
It starts out, Dusty's like, I don't know. I think he's a pretty good
Yeah,
guy.
I think he's a great
he
king.
did do this.
I
for
wouldn't
me
do
and
any
my
of that
family.
myself. There's
And
only
then-
a select few people that would be safe. My friends and family,
oh yes,
and
I'll pray you're propagandist,
and
brother.
whoever Hillary Clinton hires to cover her shit up. That's the only people that would be safe.
Kevin and
Probably a good
I
call.
will host a daily nationwide show updating the country on how well our king is doing.
Be like every day.
There would be one radio station allowed to be listened to.
I mean,
So we would
at
be
that point it'd
North
be like one of
Korea.
those.
Call me Kim Jong Dusty.
It'd be one of the. It'd be like it'd be like apocalypto times. We're like on this illegal radio station.
If I could bottle
Or
all
no,
the water, it would all be in my palace.
the one legal radio station that the king has allowed to have.
That's right.
Has allowed the country to have, and me and Bradley are so humbly hosting it.
Yes. Hear ye, hear ye.
Bradley can't even walk. He's almost on his deathbed, and I'm like, nope, you're not taking off today.
No way. No days off. No days off for the king. Hear ye, we here on June 14th.
King Dusty has declared a proclamation.
The protests have ended. Today is the National Day of Celebration for the Military. Look how strong we are.
Some would say the strongest.
Someone said
They're huge, very huge. Some would say
Very
absolutely
huge.
hugest.
We have big muscles. Look at this guy. He's got big muscles.
Some would say the biggest muscles.
I know we're joking around about this, but I do worry that if it wasn't for like the Constitution and the checks and balances and I don't think Trump would have been the first one. Trump isn't even the first Trump. There have been other presidents in our history that have been this unhinged.
I thought you were about to go into the Barron Trump time travel conspiracy, and I was about to get so
yeah.
excited.
Oh, no, we can. I mean, I don't know that one by memory.
Was that his son?
That's one we need to
Yeah.
do for a whole podcast.
Okay,
That
yeah.
that one is insane.
But I think that like the situation, I won't say that we're in that situation because I kind of do believe it. But whereas some people think that Elon bought the election for Trump in a way, and whether or not you think he literally,
I think it was Andrew Schultz.
Well, yeah, it could be. It could be.
Schultz,
It could be.
Schultz got money like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, Puerto Rico, just a garbage can.
No, and I wouldn't say
No,
that.
wasn't that who was it that said that about? What did Hitchcliff say? Tony? Didn't
Oh,
he
that
say
was Tony that said Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
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 Yeah.
So Tony bought it for him. Sorry.
And I'm not saying I don't think that like Trump or that Elon went and was like, oh, here's $1 billion, Trump's president, kind of thing. But using his money and his influence, right? And everybody does it. So it's not a knock on Elon that he did it, because I guarantee you go back and look at Biden, he had some huge donors, right? Like maybe they weren't Elon's, I won't say career.
I don't think it has anything to do with the money. I think it was the fact that both sides have been suppressing media outlets for so many years that when Elon came into Twitter and shut all that shit down on both sides, that flipped a lot of blue to red, in my opinion.
So like Elon, people were more supporting the fact that Elon was supporting Trump, and they were just.
I don't think it was Elon. I think it was the people could see a true both sides. And I'm not saying the Democrats are the only one to do
I
it.
see what you're
If
saying.
you look up Republican shit 24/7, you're going to see more Republican shit.
Right.
You're looking up Democrat shit 24/7, you're going to see more Democratic shit. But I think whenever he went in and he was like, no, everything is free speech, the truth will be out, blah, 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 stop that whole monitoring and censoring shit, and people got to see both sides of the spectrum, I think that flipped votes.
And then Elon went and he was, showing that, or I guess he wasn't really showing, he really didn't do anything. He just let other people do it. So whenever he went and did that, everybody took that. And of course he did. I mean, he was at Trump rallies. I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't there, right? Because I won't say that it completely influenced how I thought about things, but I think what he was thinking that Trump was going to do better fit his, what his strategy of making Twitter or X or whatever you call it, a more of a free speech thing, which I don't know that Trump really cares about free speech.
Trump cares about Trump speech.
Yeah, that's what I don't know that.
But the Democrats are too. What
No,
is
no,
the
that's
what is
for
the
sure.
only
That's for sure.
what is the only Trump rally that a Democratic news station went to?
The one he got shot in.
The only one. The only one they went to is the one he got shot in.
No, I think that Trump was Republicans' revenge for what Democrats had been doing to them. Whereas, like, they were suppressing their speech, or they were suppressing them as a party, and Trump was the rebellion against that, because he would go. So I think Gavin Newsom's pulling a page out of the old Trump tactic book, because Trump will just come out, and if he thinks you're lying, he'll just say, he's lying. I suck at
Wrong.
Wrong. But he'll just straight up say it like, you're lying, right? He'll just, if he thinks you're lying or he thinks you're making something up, he just straight up says it. And so the governor from California has just been going after Trump, calling him a liar and stuff. I just think it's funny. I don't think anything more of that than that, right? I don't think California, I mean, I don't know, because everybody says California is a shit show, but it's like if it was its own country, it'd be like the 5th largest economy in the world. So, I mean, it can't be that much of a shit show, like something's, I mean, granted, they do have Silicon Valley and all that, so a lot of the technology comes out of there. But other than that,
And a lot of that's moving here.
No, I agree. A lot of things are moving to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of how they're trying to move Hollywood to Texas. I mean, that's kind of cool, because fuck Hollywood, right?
Right. Hey, tit. No one knows what you're talking about.
No one knows what I'm talking about, but hey, you know what? Someday somebody might know what we're talking about. Who knows? So, all right, Dusty. I was thinking about this.
Is it more politics?
No. Well, I guess it kind of is actually.
More
I didn't want it to be like that, but it is just what it is. I mean, that's what's happening today.
I have figured out now. You could run your own politic podcast and talk by yourself.
Oh, my bad.
No, like you could. I'm giving you a compliment. Like
Am I
you could
talking
do it
too
by
much?
yourself.
No, it's what's happening today, and I mean, hell, we didn't even get into a lot of things, but I know we're
Because we're talking about politics.
I know this is supposed to be the funny one. This is supposed to be the funny, but I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wild shit.
It's hard to be funny when motherfuckers are shooting hypersonic missiles at each other. You know?
Yeah.
What exactly
Don't act
is
like-
an hypersonic
I
missile?
don't know, but what I do,
I'm not calling you a liar on saying that, and I've seen the exact same shit you're talking about. I truly don't know what a
all I know is
hypersonic
they
missile
can't
is.
shoot them down.
Landon, do you know what a hypersonic missile is?
Yeah, but I do think they're trying to. Come
It
up
goes
with this.
faster than anything we can chase or shoot down.
Okay, so this is this thing that we got going. I'm about to do it actually is political now that you say that, and I didn't even think about it whenever I was coming up with some of these questions.
But at least on these, y'all can make fun of me because they're just questions. We can.
So the title of this segment is "Would Dusty be dismissed from jury duty?"
From jury duty?
Yeah.
I can already.
So it is slightly
Like you
political.
could get yourself dismissed from jury duty
you
easily.
You can.
Oh, yeah, I can do it easily.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. So these
All I
are-
have to do is walk in there and say I have a jailer's license.
and that's all, folks.
Well,
And that's all, folks.
you just kind of threw Bradley's segment out the window.
Go ahead. I lied about
so a
that.
judge might ask you the following questions, which I think we already know the answers to.
Okay.
I was a jailer once. Dusty, the judge would ask you, can you be impartial in this case?
Well, Judge, depends kind of what the crime is.
So no.
It depends on what the crime is.
I'm gonna think that's an. I'm
Did
gonna
he
take that
diddle
as a
that
no.
little boy?
Whoa,
Guilty.
whoa.
But that
Did
but
he
you're-
smoke weed on the street? Innocent.
Yeah.
I could be impartial. I can hear both sides.
All right. So we're gonna go with. I think that Kevin and I unanimously agree on that one. That is,
That's
Dusty
a no.
would be no.
That's a no.
Okay. Something that a defense attorney might ask you. Or no, this is something the prosecutor might ask you.
Prosecutor.
Do you trust law enforcement?
No.
No. Okay.
Didn't even get the question out.
I heard trust and something with government. Out.
Ouch. Dude, and in my opinion, that makes for a great jury.
I agree.
But I don't get to decide. All right. This is the defense attorney would ask, have you ever served on a jury before?
Nope.
Nope. And I think we know. Have you ever been summoned for jury duty
Bunch.
before? You have?
I am the worst luck ever. I go
have
like
one-
every other year.
One time, and when I showed up, it had been canceled.
I have been to seven.
Seven? See, and
2 federal, all the rest local.
I feel like either I
Like
have,
had to go to downtown Fort Worth
oh, really?
twice for federal.
And they just got canceled, or
No, they didn't like me.
So
Mr. Russell, is this you running a red light on the way here?
What?
How'd you get that?
They said something about no guns allowed, and I had my gun on me still. They didn't like that too much. I don't know. I said, it's my constitutional right.
So another question that the judge asked, would it cause any scheduling conflicts for you if it was a high profile case and they go they go the whole 7 days a week? Would
He's getting sequestered.
Would you be sequestered? Would there be scheduling conflicts?
Yeah, my wife plans on having sex 2 nights a week, and I'd prefer to be there for them.
So you wouldn't be able to be
Well-
sequestered off of that?
Won't be able
No
to be there for that.
sequester.
Would one of your answers to the judge to that question be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got a podcast I do on Saturdays"?
No, they're just the main one on Sunday.
Just the sex.
Oh, just the main one. DOD podcast. That's Dusty's main podcast.
Shout out Dropped Outdoors podcast on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Also, YouTube is having channels of guns. So if you like to see pew pews go pew pew, hit us up. Dropped Outdoors podcast.
This is maybe my favorite question that I could have. And this they claim this is what they ask them, right? Whenever you're going to jury duty.
They do ask a lot of those questions. I've heard it 7 times.
Do you have any weapons on your person?
Yes.
Do you consider your biceps to be weapons?
In this shirt, there ain't no fucking sleeve gap, son. You tell me.
Okay.
Kevin, show us your sleeves. Toy like a toiga. Look at that. Bradley, show us your sleeves.
I don't have no
All the
sleeves on.
gaps.
I don't have no sleeves on. I don't have no sleeves on.
I do want to give you one shout out and interrupt real fast,
Yes,
just
sir.
because
Go
we're on
ahead.
the podcast, and I want to give you one in here. Your traps look delicious. I would lick whipped cream off of them all the way up to your ear, my friend. They look fucking good.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you, sir.
welcome.
I appreciate that. I haven't been doing anything. It's just how it goes.
Some people are blessed like
But
that.
I did get a lot of sun today, so it helps out with wearing these.
God-given.
Yeah.
Kevin has a pretty smile. You have huge traps. I have a fat wiener. That's all it is. I mean, some people are just blessed.
All right.
How fat?
I'd say it's
About 3
not exactly morbidly
How fat
obese, but it's
is
definitely
it?
obese.
Remember that? Dusty's got a fat dick. How fat is it? Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. All right, Kevin, I'm going to ask Dusty this question, but then I want you, after Dusty answers, to tell me what you think.
Is Kevin telling you what
About-
he thinks
like,
for
No,
me?
what he thinks
About
for
his
you.
an- about his answer?
Basically, is it true or false?
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Judge would ask you, can you promise not to discuss this case outside this courtroom?
I can promise you anything. Doesn't mean I'm going to follow through. The first person I call is going to be either Bradley or Landon.
Yeah.
Instantly.
And then it's going, and then he's gonna send a text message to the group text. And be
Yeah,
like,
that's
Bro, that's so
bro, you won't believe this fucking case they got me on.
That is what happened, because 90% of the time, Landon's my first text on anything that happens. If it's anything political or outrageous, Bradley's the first person I go to because he's right there with me. And then it's instant group text to get everybody's opinion on the matter.
So what I put down for my answers is Dusty would say, no problem. I'll just post it in my group chat called Real Men Don't Snitch.
Yeah. He would change the name of the group text. to
That's
Real
how
Men
well
Don't
you know me,
Snitch.
because exactly what I said was, I could promise you anything. Doesn't mean I'm going to follow through with it.
Okay.
But then he'd have to, if it was something big and he was getting sequestered, he'd have to send a text right after that. Oh yeah, they're taking my phone. So
I just got some question.
Y'all haven't heard
don't
from
text
me.
me. Don't text me.
yeah, don't text me back. But this is what's happening.
Okay.
Don't tell no one.
Yeah.
Another question they might ask is, have you ever been arrested?
No.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying no.
No.
You've
I've
never
never
been
been arrested.
He had to ask again because you thought you were lying.
I've
no,
been-
no,
I
you didn't
just
hear.
ass-
You didn't hear what I said. Have
I've
you
been
ever
in-
been
I'm
arrested?
sorry, but if
I have been in handcuffs 3 times.
but you've never been
but
to
never
jail.
actually booked.
Never been in jail one time, never at all. I got handcuffed twice at the rodeo, one for conspiracy of a fight. I didn't get into a fight. They thought I was there because I was in the group of people. So we all kind of got handcuffs.
And I promise you were guilty
conspiracy to
No.
commit.
of that.
The next one
to
was
commit
I
a
got
brawl?
The next one I got into a fight at the rodeo. And we were drinking in all of these.
Hey, the radio's going on.
So the
right
next
now,
one I
right?
got into a fight and got handcuffed. And the other time we were at the crack house, the door got kicked in, a gun pointed at
Oh,
the back
yeah.
of my
Yep,
head, and I
yep.
got put in handcuffs.
That
Those
one
are
is
the only.
that one is true because I saw that one.
Those are the only 3 that I've ever been handcuffed on, but I've never. What happened that night that you saw is what's happened every night.
Okay.
I usually end
So
up
you got
knowing
off
the
easy,
cop.
got it.
Yep. Usually end up knowing the cop, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And Kevin, have you ever been arrested?
Never.
Have you
I've
ever-
never actually even. I've never even been put in cuffs.
Not even
Nikki,
by,
step
not
up your
even, I was
game.
about to say, not even by Nikki.
No.
No, and I've also never
So
been.
Nikki just
Well,
puts the strap on and don't
No,
even worry about the
I-
cuffs with
I
Kevin.
need-
He
I
spreads
need-
it for her.
I need my
She
hands.
zip ties.
She's definitely the man in that
She
relationship.
got
I need my
Kevin-
hands free.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of that, a little bit of that.
And I, like my 2 compadres here, have also never been arrested. Continuing.
False.
Yeah, I wasn't there either.
Technically, I was never there to watch Bradley get arrested, so I can't say whether it's true or false.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about it. Let's see what's
Kevin didn't talk about it too. I'll tell you what, if something bad happens to you and you don't want anybody in the whole world to know about it, Kevin is the guy that you want with you.
Hey,
because
wasn't it Father's Day
he
when
won't tell a freaking soul.
wasn't
right?
it Father's Day?
Not even your own brothers. So you just rot away in a freaking holding cell
well,
with a bond.
I did when he texted me.
That is true. That
Kevin
is true.
said, "Oh
Because
shit,
I
Brad, I
wasn't
forgot."
Well, I mean, I wasn't sure if I should say anything. You know what I mean?
All right, Kevin, no, not Kevin. I forgot we're doing this with Dusty.
Yeah, this is Dusty getting sequestered, not me.
I'm about to sequester you. You're about to be under oath, son.
Sequester these nuts.
Oh, shit.
Look at that! Look
He
at
really
that.
is the freaking king.
You're the fucking champ, Landon.
It's okay.
Damn,
it's okay, Landon.
He tagined it for you too.
Dusty might be the king this week, but he won't be here next week. And I've got something special for you, my brother-in-law. I got something super special for Landon, and I can't wait. Okay. Anyway, Dusty, a judge might ask you, do you believe everyone is innocent until proven guilty?
Yes,
Bullshit.
100%.
That's just it? You really believe that?
Yep.
Not even if they have a neck tattoo?
The neck tattoo's fine. Fake tattoos get a little, or face tattoos get a little sketchy.
Right, so not everyone.
But no, I do believe, honest to God, I do believe everybody needs to be proven guilty.
Yeah.
It's not a proven innocent like they do right now.
Right.
I will hear everybody out on that side of
joke,
things.
but yeah.
I agree with that because I think if you don't, in even when, and it's terrible when guilty people get off by technicalities, but if you don't have those technicalities available, then innocent people will have to go to jail.
Well, I mean, look at that racist piece of shit, Donald Trump. He just pardoned that black lady and then made her the czar of pardons for everybody.
Yeah.
And she was in jail for like 40 years for something she didn't even fucking do.
Yeah.
That's worse than a fucking guilty person getting off, in my opinion, is a innocent person
Yep.
getting found guilty and losing their fucking life for it.
Yep.
Yeah, spending years and years in jail for something they didn't do.
Yep.
I can't imagine.
Yep. And then someday they'll put Diddy in and he'll get off. But that's
He'll
for
just
different,
slide
that's
right
for
out.
different reasons.
He'll just
I'm saying
slide
I honestly don't think he's going to jail.
I think he'll get. I think that on some crazy technicality that he will get off.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able.
I
to
think
get
it's going to
a jury.
do exactly what they're doing right now.
Because there's no telling.
They're going to stop talking about it. It's going to disappear and go under the rug.
I'll have
he's
you-
going
I'll have
to
you
get
know,
off, and he's not going to go to jail.
I mean,
There's
you don't
no
even
telling-
see Epson freshies hanging in people's rearview mirrors anymore.
all the
How
people.
long have you been waiting to say that?
All the
I just
people
thought
he's got
about it
on
right now.
all the people he's got all them freak off videos on.
Yeah,
you know.
Most of them were of age.
I'm talking about the
I mean-
high ranking people that
I
he's
will-
got
Oh,
on
like
these.
you're talking about him being able to hold it over.
Yeah,
you.
Yes,
right. Like
exactly.
it's
That's
the
why I think
blackmail.
he's not going to do
It's-
any time
I think-
because he's got too much over too many people.
Unless there comes. I mean, there's a guy on TikTok and I can't remember what his name is, but he calls himself the president of TikTok, not the king.
I was going to say
The
watch
president.
it.
But he's following the trials pretty closely, and it just seems a little bit more and more like maybe somebody didn't like that they participated in it. But and there was definitely some illegal. There's definitely some illegal stuff going on. There's no doubt about it.
You don't order KY by the 18-wheeler
I mean-
loads if everything is consenting.
Diddy wasn't the only one that wanted a 14-year-old Bieber.
I had a few posters.
It's only funny if you noticed. Or not funny. It's either way. But
It's not funny.
Dusty,
Yes.
Diddy.
Did he not?
They both start with a D. Okay, Dusty, here's
I don't
the
own
next,
that much KY.
Here's the next question. Moving along. Would you want to serve on a jury? Let's say if it was like the Diddy trial. Would you want to serve on the Diddy trial?
I want to do like a capital murder, a serial killer, something like that would be cool. But
The Diddy trial, too much drama. You
Diddy
think it
trial's
is?
way
No,
too
I
gay.
think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely
It's
some
way
gay
too
stuff
gay.
going on with it.
I think it'd be funny
To be on the
to be on the Diddy trial.
I think it
or
would be-
the Diddy jury. Yeah,
I think it would
it'd be
be-
funny
I
Either
think it
that or
would
I'd
be
want
in-
it to be somebody that I got caught with
until you
an
see.
ounce of weed driving down the road going back to his house or something. No baggies or anything.
just so you could
Just
be
so
like
I could be a jackass.
just so you could be the one that got him off, basically.
Just to be the jackass in the jury room.
yeah. And
Right.
they're
Yeah, you're sitting
I don't believe
I
it
think
was
it'd be-
his.
I
I
think
think,
it'd be-
his passenger
I
left
don't think
it.
he had any. I don't think he had any intent to distribute.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna be able to vote guilty on a distribution charge. or
I mean,
something.
I don't even smoke, and I think that's probably the most retarded law we have in America.
Mm-hmm. And it just got worse in Texas, or it's getting
What's that?
that way. It's getting that way.
What's that?
We're waiting for the governor to make a decision, and we don't know what it's gonna be. He's either gonna sign it or he's gonna veto it. Or
Well, looking at him, he'll probably get Alzheimer's or something before it's all said and
I
done.
think he's gonna run for president.
That's stupid. That's just
I
like
think,
voting
I
Biden
think,
in.
I think Abbott's gonna run for president. I really do, and I think he's gonna get. Well, what are we looking at here? Is this the Diddy party?
No.
Oh,
This is what Kevin was into in college.
I'm gonna take y'all to. I'm gonna take y'all to
talk about
church.
some deleted scenes.
I'm gonna
We're
take,
talking about DSLs over here.
I'm gonna take y'all to church.
Take me to church. Bradley starts. I
What are
call your
we
name. Her
doing?
name is.
Is this your video of the
No,
day?
this isn't my video of the day.
Okay.
It's just
You're not allowed to have two TikToks.
Yeah.
I'm not a what?
All right, hit us with it. I want to see this. I don't know what's gonna.
Oh, is this the choir?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty dope.
Oh.
Let's go to church. Dusty, why does your face look like that?
What kind of Morgan Wallen song is this?
I'm a motherfucking PIMP. It just doesn't sound right.
No, yeah.
All right, Kevin.
I don't think I was a fan. I don't
you
think I
have
was a
No,
fan.
that was just funny to me.
Do you have a clip of the day? Do you have your clip of the day?
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna close it on this. So I hope this is fucking
Well, I hope
good.
that one didn't just ruin my opinion of you,
Yeah,
Kevin.
because I gave that a
2.
No, that was me.
yeah. I was thinking 3.7.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
just to
funny.
be conservative. Well,
Just to be conservative.
That's very right of you.
all right. This is Kevin's clip of the day, where Dusty and I will give Kevin a grade.
Bro, why does this dude look like he has chlamydia on his face?
He might. I don't
Why
know.
does he? He looks like he shaves under his eyes.
Let's
Ready?
say, is it just like a weird camera angle right now, or am I gonna have to stare at this the whole
It's
time?
paused. It's just
paused.
pause.
All right,
So,
hit it.
get it.
Good morning, everybody.
The
Hello,
fuck?
This is Reaper, and I am back with another announcement. All right, all you bitches, all you females.
You could drive a
all you
Buick through
women,
his teeth.
If you are coming to my page looking for a relationship, go fuck yourself.
Amen,
Because
brother.
I am not leaving my video games for no bitch.
Yeah.
I'm
He's got-
sorry.
got
Video
priorities.
games are my priority. Women are nothing but cancer and a total disgrace to this
Preach.
fucking society.
Preach.
I'm sorry, but you girls are
But not
of
the
interest
cancer
to
part.
me. I don't know how many times I can say that without actually going blue in the face, but I'm being
You're going
factual.
red in the face,
So
you weirdo.
please, Go fuck yourself. Find another man to bother. Do not be bothering men at fucking 4, 3, 2 a.m. in the fucking morning.
Amen.
We actual normal people are actually fucking sleeping. Please go fuck
Not a
yourself.
true gamer.
Yeah, I'm about to say my
Video
one.
games for life.
Video games for life.
My
And then
one,
he's-
my one quarrel is that if you would have said 5 a.m., 4 a.m., I would have been like, okay. You said 3 a.m., you're not a gamer.
Bro, there's times at 3 a.m. I'm still up playing games with Brad, and I've already smashed out twice. You know what I mean? Like, we good.
Dusty said, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then like 12 seconds later, he was back. I was like, did you pee? You're like, what this?
Damn, you're giving me a compliment with 12 seconds, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna say, he had me until the 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah, his 4 or 5
Yeah.
a.m. was kind of throwing it off. But
you had me because I'll be honest, if I ain't had no bitches or a bitch, if
Playing
I didn't
video
have the
games,
one
yeah.
singular woman that I love with all
he
my
said,
heart,
if I didn't have no bitches.
if I didn't have them bitches, but if I didn't have the one singular woman that tells me that I can't do that,
yeah.
I'd
You'd
be a
probably
menace.
be
I'd
up.
be a menace. I mean, I already stay up till 2 close.
Mm.
I mean, now that I'm getting old, 3 is kind of hard.
Three's,
But I mean,
two's pushing.
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I can
but-
see midnight to one.
yeah. But if I didn't, if I was single, easy. If I didn't have nothing to like, if I wasn't working on a Sunday and I
Oh, yeah.
got balls deep into it, I
Yeah.
mean, Yeah, easy 4 a.m. Easy 4 a.m. So not you, Kevin, on your sense of humor, but him on his closing. Not a fan of that.
Take it.
So I'm going 7.
See, as far as
Do
Kevin's,
I just need to play Shelly every week? Shelly Scoville?
I mean, I'm
as
not
far
telling
as
you what to
Kevin's,
play.
as far as Kevin's humor, you know what? I'm gonna back that up. All right, as far as the video, the originality side of it for him, I'm gonna give like an 8. It was funny.
Yeah.
For Reaper?
Now, for Reaper, I'm going to put him in terms of bitches. That video was like a 6 for Odessa, but it's like a 2 for Weatherford. You know what I mean? Like, ain't working.
Go
As
fuck
far
yourself.
as Kevin's humor, it was funny. I'm going to give Kevin like a 7 on that one.
It was funny. It was funny. I just can't get past the end, brother. You shouldn't have put out.
He's not putting out. That's the problem.
Yeah, no. Video games for life.
But if he would have said, "Don't call me at 2, 3, 4 because I'm playing," but he said that's when he's sleeping.
Yeah.
And you ain't no gamer if you're sleeping at 2. If that's all you care about in your life and you're sleeping from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., that ain't cutting it.
Kevin,
that ain't cutting it.
Will you go to the punchline messages?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a second. These are the ones I've sent, right? Oh no, that's not go to the. Oh, this is my personal. No, this is Landon's. Never mind, they're not going to be on here.
Oh no,
this is your personal one.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to scroll back pretty far.
You can't. Well, you can't go to the dropped outdoors. That's where I send everything to Bradley. But I had some funny ones in there. I was going to actually compete with you and show you a real sense of humor.
All right, Dusty, you got 2 weeks
2 weeks for what?
to compete.
I have
But
messages saved that
I'm
are funnier
saying-
than what we've seen.
I'm saying 2 weeks to compete. That means if you're gonna compete, that means you compete. That means you have to show up. That means we got to be able to play the videos.
I sent them over.
They can't just be in.
Who do I have to
obscurity.
send them to, Kevin? Can I send them to you or
Yeah, send
send them to myself?
I just these ones I'm pulling up, I just sent to you.
See, but
to
this
you.
has an L up in the top right hand corner.
4.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so this is my personal TikTok you're on?
See.
Okay.
Hey,
dropped outdoors!
Hey.
Dude, I told you I'm famous.
All right, boys. Well, that was
Dropped outdoors to that one.
yeah.
You don't gotta watch this one. I just want to play it.
Oh, Kevin wants to play one.
Fucking remix.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Kenny Powers' girlfriend.
Pull it over.
Kenny Powers'
You want me to pull it over?
Yeah, this is actually a good one. only because I already liked it, so obviously I'm gonna continue to like it.
Fucking remix. Fucking remix. Kenny Powers' girlfriend. Kenny Powers' girlfriend's song. I like to butt fuck fine ladies.
Yeah.
Will I choke hold a bitch? Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I like to butt fuck fine ladies.
Yeah.
Will I choke hold a bitch? Well, maybe. I like to butt fuck fine ladies. Will I choke
I think this might have to be our outro from now on.
Will I choke
Turn that shit up.
well, maybe. I like to butt fuck fine ladies. Will I choke hold a bitch? Well, maybe.
We are
Fucking remix.
the Punchline Project. We appreciate you all for tuning in tonight. We also want to leave a shout out for our boys over there at the Dropped Outdoor Podcast, DOD. Look them up. We're friends with each other. So if you follow us, you can follow them.
That guy's on it.
And I'll tell you what they talk about. They talk about fuck boy country shit. They talk about guns. They talk about ammo. They talk about the things that go on your guns like this at the end.
They're not called silencers.
They're called suppressors. Sometimes they have their retarded friends who don't know anything about that stuff on there. So
that's you.
That guy is me.
I haven't been
and
on
he
there
is
yet.
him. Shout out to Dusty. We will be missing him on the next episode. We will miss
Thank God.
him greatly, but we did find another oversized fellow to fill in for him, so it'll all work out. We are the Punchline Project. We love you all, and we appreciate it. Look us up on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. It is the Punchline Project now on all of those things. They're all the
You
same.
got it fixed all the same.
I got them all
Nice.
fixed. If you type it into work, hey, even Spotify. Even
Wow.
Spotify. All right?
We're
So-
on Spotify too.
Yeah. Yeah, we are, actually. So, hey, peace. Push the button.